extra, read all about it. Get your copies while they last. Stop the presses.
And now for something completely different.
Are you ready for a little truth? Are we not entertained? Wisdom is the proper use of knowledge and experience. There are no safe spaces here. The truth shall make you free. It's showtime! So you want the truth, but can you handle the truth? Well, here's another fine mess you've gotten us into. Now that's entertainment. Enlighten me a little. What you say is quite logical. And what did we learn? Prepare yourself for a little sensory overload. I came here for the truth. 47 years ago, stand by the roll show intro. Roll show intro in 3, 2, 1, go.
This is the Craig L. Hayes Show.
Hello, America, family, friends, and listeners all around this planet we call home. This is the Craig L. Hayes Show, and I am Craig L. Hayes. It is, let's see, where are we at? We're running towards the end of March right now. It's March 23rd, 2025. And the subject we're going to tackle a little bit today is a simple one. It's called Radical Democrat Terrorists. I know we can just say basically your typical Democrat. We don't have to sit there and say radical terrorist, because being a Democrat is being radical. Being a Democrat means you believe in terrorism, because that is the history of the Democrat Party. We're seeing an awful lot of things going on right now in this country. Number one, we're watching people destroy other people's property, vandalize cars, burn Tesla dealerships, shoot out the windows of cars of a man that they don't even know anything about, other than he's been asked by the President of the United States to look into the government and find the waste, the fraud, and make it more efficient and save the taxpayers money. For his effort, Elon Musk gets to suffer the Democrat Party, and do not believe that it's not the Democrat Party. Don't sit there and listen to the BS of the Democrats. Oh yeah, that's right. We haven't heard a word from them. Have you realized in the last couple of weeks, with all these things going on, that there's only been one person, one elected official in Congress that came out and spoke out against the violence? That's a Democrat. Everybody else has been silent, or everybody else, like the Maxine Waters. God, she's an ugly woman, clear down to the bone. In thought, in mind, in spirit, in outwardly appearance. But I digress. One person in the Democrat Party as an elected official has come out and spoken out against the destruction of Elon Musk's property, his cars, his dealerships. All because he wants to save the American people money. Now we can sit there and say, well, they're just not taking a side because they don't really want to say anything about it. Let's go back to Dietrich Bonhoeffer. Wasn't it Dietrich that said, not to speak is to speak? If you're not speaking out against it, you're endorsing it. If you're not condemning it, you're encouraging it. If you're not telling the people that are doing it to knock it off, they don't represent the Democrat Party's ideology and philosophy, then you're saying to them, that is our ideology and philosophy from now on. Is that when we lose at the ballot box, because we have nothing to offer the American people, we have nothing to give the American people in the way of hope and inspiration, because 4 years of Joe Biden and 8 years of Barack Obama, the destruction of this nation has now become apparent. So, why aren't you guys speaking out? When some ill-intentioned, improper people trespassed, remember that's all they did is they trespassed at the Capitol. A few of those guys did resort to some violence, and they did break some things. They kicked some doors in, they broke some windows. Those guys should still be in jail. I don't agree with Donald Trump that they should have been let out of jail. When you're going to take and become violent like the Democrats, when you're going to take destructive like the Democrats, when you're going to harm people's property, the people's property, like the Democrats do, when you're going to take and do anything that's violates other people's rights like the Democrats do, you should be in jail. You should be in prison. Now, the people who just walked around taking pictures and looking in the rooms and seeing what the Capitol looked like on the inside, okay, you guys were dumb. You guys were foolish. Here's a $1,000 fine, and here's 6 months on probation, and just don't do it again. It's a misdemeanor charge. But no, we were told these people were the most violent and the criminal, that they need to be persecuted, prosecuted. They needed to be in jail, every single one of them. And thousands of people lost everything that they had. Thousands of people went through this terrorism committed by the FBI and Justice Department. Thousands of people were taken and forced to give up their financial situations at home to try to defend themselves against a tyrannical judiciary. But no. But no, these guys were horrible. And yet when people actually violently, the Democrat Party encourages, the Democrat Party says nothing. The Democrat Party stands by and gives the wink and the nod to keep on going, to burn down people's property, to destroy people's property, to take and burn cities, to take and do any kind of destruction they can on people that they don't agree with. That's a mostly peaceful demonstration. Democrat Party is filled with scumbags. It is the scumbag party of America. Their philosophy, their ideology is the ideology and philosophy of Karl Marx, Engels, and Trousseau. So why is it allowed in this country? Free speech, I get that. People are allowed to believe what they want to believe. People are allowed to think how they want to think. But when you cross the line, when you commit crimes, when you are violent against other people and violent against their rights, their property, their liberty, their freedom, you are a terrorist. Therefore, proof that the Democrat Party is the radical Democrat terrorist party. We have to quit playing games with words. We have to call things the way they are. The Democrat Party has been the party of terrorism since, slavery. And when the slaves were freed and the Democrats lost the Civil War, remember, it was a war about slavery, Democrats wanting slavery, and Republicans, abolitionists, constitutional conservatives, whatever you want to call them on the other side, wanting to abolish it. When the Democrats lost those elections and they lost the war, they came up with a new idea. It was called the Ku Klux Klan. Sorry, I got the sniffles, folks. Allergy season is just kicking me. Anyhow, the Ku Klux Klan was formed by the Democrats to terrorize, remember that word, terrorize, terrorist. So I'm going to help you Democrats understand the language a little bit better because you're not that bright. Terrorize, terrorist. The Democrat parties made terrorists to terrorize black communities. So is this new? No. Democrat Party also, through the use of their donors like a George Soros and others, formed people and places and companies or whatever you want to call them, groups like Black Lives Matter, Antifa. All these groups are terrorist groups. The Ku Klux Klan is still a terrorist group. Black Lives Matter is a terrorist group. Antifa is a terrorist group. For the Democrat Party not to denounce, condemn, and separate themselves fully from them, these groups, is to take us back still to Dietrich Bonhoeffer. Not to say something is to say something. Not to do something is to do something. It all goes together. The Democrat Party fully embraces, the Democrat Party fully loves the terrorism that's committed by these groups, like Democrat Socialists of America. You guys come up with those crazy names. Just proves you're not that bright. It does prove just how evil you are and how much you hate this country. And to do the things that you do proves that you hate this country. You hate its founding. You hate the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. You hate liberty and freedom. And things were going swell under Joe Biden because we had an overbearing, tyrannical government that anybody that spoke out against it ended up going to court for praying in front of any building, for speaking out against them. Made up crimes, but real punishment. So what do we do about these groups? And why are they tolerated? Well, it's just not the Democrat Party that tolerates it. It's not the Democrat Party that embraces terrorism. These cities, people's properties, rights, freedoms, liberties, and way of life get destroyed by these groups at the Democrat Party. See, I'm not going to give up on telling everybody that the Democrat Party is evil. I'm not stopping to tell people that the Democrat Party is a terrorist organization. I'm not giving up on telling people the truth. If you don't like the truth, then go find someone else to listen to. Or get mad at me and say mean things to me. Doesn't bother me one iota. So what we're going to do here is keep on pointing out how evil the Democrat Party is, the Communist Party, United States of America, which are the same thing, Socialist Party of America, the Anti-American Party, the whatever party you want to call it, it's the Democrat Party. All embraced, all in round. They just They hug each other. They love each other because their goal is to destroy this nation. So we get a guy in there that wants to help the American taxpayer save them money, and you guys want to destroy him and his property, his rights, his freedom, and his businesses. And you're proud that you march out there and say, oh, look at Tesla's going down. Yay, it's going down, you bunch of filthy pieces of garbage. I think we need to expand Guantanamo Bay to where it can fit, like 20, 30, 40 million people. And I know exactly who to put there. Isn't that where we store terrorists? And if the Democrat Party, as I believe, is a terrorist organization, then there's a lot of Democrats that belong at Guantanamo. Democrat Party, you are leaderless other than following along with all these terrorist groups. You're old. You have nothing to offer the American people. You've never had anything to offer the American people except for bigger government and the expansion of government. And those two things, when government expands, liberty contracts. Just the way you like it. Because your God is government. Your ideology is in the book written by Karl Marx. And when you lose at the ballot, like you did just a few months ago, you go to your favorite play book. Violence. Funding violence. Pushing violence. I mean, you had a presidential candidate. She was the worst candidate you guys have ever put forth. Even worse than Mondale, even worse than Jimmy Carter. Oh my gosh. Kamala Harris. She was out there trying to bail out these terrorists that were around the country, burning down the cities. She didn't believe they belonged in jail. What more proof do you people out there have to have? Well, that's about what I have to say about that. Let me do it proper. That's all I have to say about that. Thank you, Forrest. Stand against these people. They're cowards. They're violent. And if they want to show, I don't know if Democrats are trying to take and push it to where we get into a civil war. You guys lost the first one. Badly. I mean, badly. Your whole philosophy, your whole ideology, your belief system was completely destroyed in the last Civil War. You guys really pushing for another one? You want round two? Well, all I can say, if that's what you want, let's get it on. Because this time I don't think we as Republicans and constitutionalists should be as forgiving as we were last time. So keep it up. And you'll get exactly what you want. But you're not going to want what you get. You're not going to overthrow this country through violence. You're not going to take away the people's liberties, freedoms, and constitutional government in our republic. You're not going to throw our republic over because you want Marxism, because you want socialism, because you want progressivism, because you want whatever ism you can say, fascism, Nazism, whatever you want to take and be, which are all the same thing in my book, without a fight. So bring it on. If you're really that stupid, and I know you guys are, not the brightest light bulbs in the drawer. So anyways, that is the show for today. For this episode, I should say, not for the day. I think I've got a couple more to do today. But it's good enough day to have a chat with you, and I'm glad everyone that's listening is listening. Please subscribe, press like, follow, all those fun things, and get this out there to more and more people. I will always tell you the truth of what I think, believe, and understand to be the truth. If I'm wrong, I apologize. If something comes to my attention that I believe something was wrong and I had said something that was incorrect, I will always say I'm sorry and try to correct it. But I will tell you exactly what I believe, and I'm not afraid to speak out. I will stand up and be heard. I will stand up as a voice against the Democrat Party and its tyranny and terrorism. I love this country, and I love the Constitution, love the Bill of Rights, love the rule of law. I love capitalism, real free market capitalism, not the crap we're living in today. And I love that I was born at this time to witness and be a part in this country's history. So until our next episode, Talbot, can you take it away?
This is the Craig L. Hayes Show.